Alright, so I'm in a little bit of a different place today. Obviously, not at my house. Um, so I kind of just went on a difference for the walk. And, okay, so she's playing. So this girl, I went into this building and was just kind of sitting down, and I started hearing this amazing piano playing. So I walk over, and it's this girl playing piano. And I don't think she knows that I'm listening, obviously, which is a little creepy, but whatever. Anyway, but as she's playing, something came to my mind, right? And I was thinking of how good she was at the piano, because if you can hear this, like her playing is like I'm not a piano expert, but her playing's really, really, really good. And you know that only comes from hours of work. It's like there's no way that's just talent, you know? That's she probably comes and does this a lot, and the way she did it, and like it was interesting. Like I saw her, and she was just like really determined, and she walked into it and was just playing. And like I realized, like really disciplined people, after a while, you can see it, and it shows on how they act and who they are, and like you see it in their ability, like how naturally like she's playing on this piano, and I'm sure like she's making mistakes, but I'm not hearing them, right, because she's so advanced. And I was just thinking like the whole point of like as we evolve as people, like going back from just like trying to survive and live our simple habits, you get to this level where through discipline and hard work we can get these really powerful next level skills, right? And everyone has that in them, but so few pay the price to get it, right? And I think it's also like that with our relationships. Like we can have this certain ability or capacity for relationships, and we get the opportunities. The opportunities are always there, but it's up to us to have the discipline. As well as, I mean, there's mentors, there's support, there's a lot of other things that go into achieving and playing and doing anything at a certain level, right? Because you can, there's a time when you peak, right? Um, but it's only at the extremes when you can really see differentiations. Like compared to an average person, she's an excellent piano player, but maybe as you put her in a group of really excellent piano players, then that's where things really start to shake down, and that's where things like circumstances, who you're teaching, who you're learning from, like how you play, like that's where things start really fine-tuned, and it's only at those extremes. But I think like for the general population, it's indicative of the fact that um, I think everyone ought to look at themselves and ask, is there anything I have or that I do that would differentiate me from anybody else, like at an extreme, right? Like, I think there's a lot of people like who, are probably pretty normal, but there's some people, you meet and you find out like, whoa, this person's really good at roller derby, or this person's really good at, science or their job or whatever. And I think it's when you have something like that that differentiates you, that's where you get a lot of supreme confidence. And I think the problem is not too many people have something like that, like where they can put all their time and energy and focus on and get really good at. Like the way she plays the piano, that I was just thinking about it. How many people, not just to talk about the piano, but just talk, how many people have a skill at that level? And I asked myself, am I that good at anything right now? And that was kind of a harrowing question. Think I'm a pretty strong thinker, and I can be pretty extreme about that. But yeah, that was something to really think about. Just recognize that, whoa, I don't know if I'm that good at anything. I can be, but what is that thing? And then how do I do it so that I can get really good at it? Because when you play or do something at that level, it takes a lot. It just takes time and discipline. Like there's no way around that. And so your window for those type of things changes with time and as you get older. You know what I mean? Like someone who's been playing piano like every day for 70 years is obviously gonna have a lot more experience than someone maybe who's been doing the same thing for 20. But the difference between them is gonna be a lot smaller than someone like say who has never played the piano and has just started practicing for like a couple months. The difference between those guys is gonna be massive, right? And so I think that's something to just kind of figure, where do we hit that threshold of learning, and how do we differentiate ourselves, and what is something that I can pick and really be world class at. Because I realize it's only when you decide to be world class at something and have the discipline towards it that you can get kind of that world class confidence. And I think that's something that I personally am wanting. And so finding something maybe like as a hard skill that I can get that good at would help. I know for my family, kung fu was a big one for them. So I have to figure out what I'm going to try and be world class at again. Alright, guys, have another day. D.A.R.M.A life out.